As of writing this, II2 episode 17 releases, which, considering the tweets about the ending from the showrunners, it's probably the last. And I wanted to make a video talking about all the things I absolutely love about this show. It's hard to get people into it because, well, season 1 is a season 1, and the first few season 2 episodes are just nah, but boy, the later episodes are just incredible. I think the turning point from funny, of II from funny object show to, oh my god, was episode 9, before episode 10 topped that, which was topped by episode 11, and then 12, 13, and 14, just, you get the point. And as much as the whole season 3 thing between 14 and 15 wasn't the best, and wasn't as good as what we got in season 2, still very well made. It wasn't meant to be like peak fiction, it's like a post-split situation. If post-split was good. I found some entertainment value, and of course, Bot was an amazing character. The whole nonchalant intro to Bo in the season is just so funny looking back, because I just really quickly accepted that, yeah, she's back. That's normal, I don't care anymore. Only for it to be revealed that Fan and Test Tube built a robot replica of Bo in such a cool montage, holy cow. I also just love the goo. She has no aura. It gives me chills every time. Not only that, but how they made it into a pretty clear trans allegory. Bot wanted to be different than what they were meant to be, taking on their own identity with new pronouns, new name. But they were afraid of what Test Tube would think, not wanting to disappoint her by not being Bo, which is who they were made to be. They're also technically Steve Cobb's grandchild, but we'll get to that. Also, episode 13. Easily one of my favorite episodes. Sprinkled bits of backstory, the character dynamics, especially with Fan and Suitcase. Their dialogue just flows so well, and they bounce off each other greatly. Not to mention Taco. Taco is just easily one of my favorite characters in the show. I love the concept of the secret spy type character faking their identity to win, only to find themselves wanting to come back to their fake life. And not even necessarily their persona, but the friends they made along the way. I kind of improv that bit of the script, and I realized too late I was about to say the friends they made along the way, but I was too deep into, I had to commit. Taco's relationship with Mike is, you know, on surface level, it seems like she's just in it for the game, in it for the money, whatever. But as we've seen with Pickle, not every friend she makes is just to push her further in the competition, and her banter with Mike, along with her absolute devastation after she left, just really shows how she's driven by a genuine want for friendship. It always goes back to her friendship with Pickle, so much that it even kills her. And her song, Taco's Tirade, great as well. I love this song, I've listened to it so much. It illustrates, you know, the whole, what I just talked about, but it also shows her new plan of, like, exposing the show and like, you guys are being manipulated, don't you see? It's 1984, you're puppets on a string. George Orwell, wait. George Orwell. Yes. I do see the argument that this is like a huge shift in character, but after she lost Mike, I feel like it's not that outlandish for her to turn to something else. It seems to be sort of a redemption mission, feeling angry and confused at what the game had done to her, so she turned against it. She doesn't consider herself redeemable anymore, represented by her not wanting to even physically regenerate, which is made abundantly clear by Meathead. She lost Pickle, she lost Mike. She can't save herself, so she turns to at least being some sort of hero to make her feel better. And episode 16 goes further with this, having her confront Pickle and apologize only for Pickle to reject her again. But immediately after, he dies. Taco's VA did just a great job, because she sounds so genuinely distraught, which is, you know, fair. She just saw someone she was apologizing to die right in front of her. And that's about where her appearance in the episode ends. She just confides in Meathead, seemingly being motivated at the end by Baseball's speech, though. Taco's different now. She's lost her mysterious nature and everything that made her powerful. Mike left her behind, Pickle left her behind, and now Pickle is dead and Mike might be soon. I'm really excited to see how her arc concludes in the finale, because it's just such an interesting character. I love Taco. I have like 30 screenshots of Taco in my camera roll. I was deciding on a profile picture, but it's just, I really like Taco. And speaking of the finale, oh my god, another part of the show I adore is the most recent part, the ending of II-16, where Steve Cobbs reveals to Knife and Suitcase that Miphone created them. There have been 2 times where a show has genuinely made my jaw drop. both being object shows, funnily enough. First one was BFDIA 6 dropping, seeing that link in the Discord, nothing can ever recreate that moment. And the second one was this. I'm gonna say it right here. I think this is one of the most well-orchestrated twists I've ever seen in any piece of fiction, and I'm not exaggerating. Maybe I am, subconsciously, whatever. Because it's just so clear how long they've been planning this. Miphone calling in the contested stereotypes, the older art and design being a canonical thing somehow, Cabby not remembering her parents, Walkie saying that they're all made for Miphone, fans glitching, and how almost all of the characters reflect Miphone. Fan is the reality show fan in Miphone, Soap is the germaphobe trait of his, Yin Yang is his relationship with his brother, Ballpoint Pen is his fear of Cobb's judgment, Grosker is his obsession with reputation, Bo and Cheesy are his immature, nonsensical humor. Cabby might have even been spawned in from Miphone removing his memories and storing them in what could be considered a file type thing. The list goes on. Now, due to some recent tweets from Brian and Miphone's what? I think it's likely that Miphone didn't even intentionally create them. He's still unaware. He thinks they're real. They probably just spawned in due to some sort of glitch or subconscious thing, drama, whatever. And it explains why he made Ballpoint Pen. He didn't mean to. Explains why he can't revive Bo, because he doesn't know he made her. To be honest, the whole show, the host made the contestants thing was a twist I was gonna do for an object show if I ever made one. It was more of an in my mind thing that's been brewing for a few years and not an actual project, whatever. But I don't even care because they did it perfectly. This is just amazing. It's also made better by, you know, Steve Cobb says it, and he's just so cool. I forgot to put the G in song in the script, so it just says his son in this episode is great. And I just had to think for a second, like, what? Where Steve? I mean, Miphone's his son. Yeah, I guess Miphone was great in the episode. His song was great in this episode. I love the direction they've gone with him. He's this big bad guy that's always lurking around the corner. Like, he could always be coming for Miphone at any second, but he's just some quirky inanimate object version of Steve Jobs. That's the definition of a charismatic villain. He's always acting like he's in a position of power, joking around as he slowly reveals the truth, only to drop his tone when he just says it straight up with this really menacing droning sound effect. And speaking of dialogue, the last thing I want to talk about is how good this show's dialogue is. I've never seen anything like II's dialogue, and normally that would be a bad thing, but no, this is just great. There's a specific vibe to it that I can't fully articulate. The best way to describe it is, it's messy. In the best way possible. And it's not always like this, but I definitely noticed it when the episode started to become cinema. They talk like real humans saying things, and don't always add directly to the content, but the realness of the conversation instead. I think Fan and Lightbulb are the most common characters to talk like this. They stutter, change their volume, all in a way that doesn't interfere with the dialogue, but adds to it. Lightbulb will go off on rants that I don't even understand myself, but they make sense to me because they don't make sense. They're all on reality TV, and they're just people messing around. I guess you could say that about any show, but the comedic timing is also just almost always on point, and when the characters have one of those sit down and talk about feeling scenes, it feels so genuine. Both because of the writing and the incredible work of the VAs. Anyways, I'm gonna call some theories. Box was the first victim of Miphone X, and let me see. Soaprophone. No, screw that. Soapophone becomes canon. Because it is already canon, but you know, they're gonna like make it entirely obvious. If it wasn't already obvious.